Hey guys, so I thought we'd explore a little bit more the model that we were making to illustrate how things like the performance factor, which was the root mean square error that we were looking at last time. Okay, I thought we'd explore that model that we were using. Okay, so what I have here is this is in your and sorry, this is annotate mode. Sorry about that. This is in your on the Moodle page. This is where we're starting with. What I've done is I've taken out all of the data except for median income and the thing we're after, which is the median house value, right? So we want to be able to predict the median house value from, in general, all of those features that we have in the other file. But here, let's just make a really dumb model, and we just want to predict the median house value from the median income only. Okay, remember the median income is in some weird units, right? So like it's really, instead of 8.3, it's really $83,252 for the median income. So we've got to remember that whenever we're doing calculations. Okay, so here's what I want to do. We want to put together the dumb model. Remember what the dumb model was? It was to take the very first value of median income and see what we have to multiply it by to get the house value here. And then use that same vector for all of the other median incomes as a predictor. Okay, so let's see how that's going to work. And I want you guys to take the file, name it something. Here I named mine, so take the file off Moodle and name it something else, because it's nice if you mess stuff up to go back to the original. So I named mine Housing Play DumbModel. It would be great if you named your files something with your name in it somewhere. Anyway, okay. So follow along with Excel. Okay, and I'm using Excel on a Mac, so it might look a little different for you in Windows. So what do we want to do? Well, I want to come over here and I want to make the calculation. I don't have to do it by hand, so I'm going to do it on Excel. And to do that, I'm going to just say what I'm doing. Make a dumb model where you multiply the median income by some factor to get the median house price or house value. Okay, and I like to always use wrap text. Just makes it a little easier to see where the columns are. Gives you a little space here, yeah, but it sees where the columns are. So to do that here, I want to get that factor. Remember last time it was like 5.4 or something like that. So I'm just going to do that with a formula. So to get formulas in Excel, I hope all of you have some experience with Excel. So we put an equal sign, and I'm going to take the house value, and I'm going to divide it by the median income times 10,000. Remember, I have to multiply by 10,000 to get this into the right actual units, which is dollars, right? Okay. All right. So if I do that, what do I get? I get that 5.4365, blah, 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 right? Okay. That's going to be the thing I multiply all of these median incomes by to predict a house value. Okay. So my column here is going to be y hat from dumb model. Okay, remember, y hat is the prediction made by your model. Again, I'm going to wrap text here because I hate that it cuts stuff off. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to multiply the median income by this value and by 10,000, and that will be my prediction for the median house value. Okay, so in this column, I'm going to put equal sign. I'm going to actually type out this 5.4 because I don't want to use this cell. It messes it up if you do. If you're an Excel expert, maybe you can figure out how to fix that. But I'm going to take the median income. I'm going to multiply by 10,000. And I'm going to multiply by 5.43650603. Right, 4365063, push enter, and lo and behold, it's exactly this. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to round this up. Now, this is exactly 452,600, right? $452,600. But it won't be for some of these other ones. Well, it'll have like decimals, you know, cents. I don't care about those. So just for the heck of it, I'm going to actually round this. So I'm going to put a round function in front of this. And I'm going to say, please round it to no decimal places. So that's what the 0 is for. And here it won't make any difference, but it will make a difference for the other ones. All right. Now, this formula takes the median income, of course, multiplies by 10,000, and this 5.4, right? So if I copy this here, I can paste it here, right? And look at the prediction for this one. The prediction for this one is $451,306. Quite a bit different from the actual value, but we didn't expect it to be good, right? But the easy way to copy all of them, and remember I shortened this file to about 500, so it's a little easier, is I'm going to copy this again just to make sure it's copied. I think it is. And I'm just going to scroll way down to the end of 500, and then I can use my paste and paste it. Whoops, hey. Gotta slow down when you get closer. Okay. And so 550, sorry, it's 550 in here. And there's all of our Y hats. In other words, our predictions. Okay. Sometimes, I don't know, it doesn't really get close that often. This one's not so bad. Let's see. Where's this would go away? Go away. I don't know why it's not going away. Never mind. But you know, you can look around and see, well, it's not too great. It's not too awful. Maybe you think it's pretty awful. I honestly think it's a pretty awful model. Here and there does okay. But we want to get a better measure, right? We want to use our performance measure that we spent some time talking about in lecture on Friday. So let me annotate here for a second, and I'll write down that equation. So if you remember that equation, okay, I had to reboot the computer, believe it or not. All right, so remember we had this performance measure here, and that we had some idea a little bit about what this was. So remember that this guy, h of x, was our model. And let me make sure we can have this on the same screen. We can have our data on the same screen as our page that we're looking at here. Okay, so over here, right, the x's in our case now are just these guys here, right? So if you look at the median income, this is the x. We are using x to predict the median house value. And this is our prediction. This is the real value, right? So if we come over here, maybe we should just put down that this here is the label, which is the actual median house value, right? Okay. And here is the prediction from our from our dumb model, prediction. And then parentheses, we always use y hat, okay, from the dumb model. Okay, so over here, this thing here is actually y hat. And what this means, right, is that for each one of the x's, which is the median income, each one of these, we have a model, and that's h of x, right? And this is just a shorthand for a function. And in our case, the function is multiply x. So this is x1. Right? So take x1, and you do this for each of them. So maybe we should put an I here. This means just do it for every single x. You're going to do this. X times 10,000 times 5.43650,603, right? That's our dumb model. So this just means do this to every single x. That's what the h is, okay? And then subtract from that, after you did that, the actual value, the label, okay? But we also call this y hat. So this h of x is also called y hat of I, because it's just shorthand for this, right? So this is the prediction. And in this case, our first prediction is here, $452,600. Happens to match that because we use the exact value. Okay. Okay, so we want to actually calculate this with Excel. Now remember that I told you that this business here and here, right, the sum, the 1 over m, is really just taking an average of the stuff in here. So that's yellow, that's not a good color. Let's go to green. So, you know, the stuff in here, the square of these differences between the predicted values and the actual values, this sum and the m are just taking the average. Okay, and then of course we take the square root of that when we're done. So let's just calculate that in Excel. All right, so we're going to make a column that's going to be this y hat minus y squared. Okay, so here we're going to say y hat, capital Y, right? I used capital Y, y hat. Oops, I need some parentheses. Oops, parentheses. Okay, y hat minus y, right? So meaning the actual value of the median house price, the label, squared. Okay, that's what we're going to calculate in this column. It's easy to do. So we're going to use an equal sign again, and we're going to do parentheses, just like it shows up there in my little description. We're going to take the prediction minus the actual, and then we're going to square it. Okay, there, of course, the difference is 0 because this particular dumb model predicts this exactly because that's how this 5.43, etc. was calculated. Now let's do our trick where we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it all into the 550 values, pull down really fast, slow down when it comes back up. Yeah, I didn't slow down fast enough. Okay, it's annoying. All right, here, paste. And why do we have this? Let's see. We have a little issue here probably. Nope, looks good. Sometimes you get that when there's not enough room for the numbers. And remember, these are super big numbers, right? Because you're squaring the difference between these two numbers. So your difference might be 50,000 or 100,000 and you're squaring that. So don't be scared. Those are big numbers. That's fine. The next thing we have to do is take the average of all those numbers. Well, Excel's really good at that. So I'm going to come down here and, oh, hello. And I'm going to come down here and say, I want the average of y hat minus y hat, minus y squared. Okay, that's what this thing is going to be right here. So I'm going to say equals average. And I'm not going to scroll back up and choose the columns, but you can't, or choose the cells, but you can. Notice that it's column D. I know that it starts at D2 because there's some words in D1, and then D2, and it goes all the way to, let's see, D551, and we get the average. Again, big number, but remember that this measure of how well we did, you have to take the square root now. So now I'm going to say square root. This is just a comment telling me what I'm doing, right? Telling me what I'm doing. Square root of average of y hat minus y squared. Okay, and over here it's pretty easy. I say equals square root function, and then I click on this. Oh, there we go. And there we go. So on average, we are off by $54,000. Okay. Not the best model in the entire universe. Hopefully our machine learning code can do a lot better than this. Okay, so what do I want you guys to do? I think we're going to do this in 2 parts. So I'm going to send out a part tonight, Sunday night tonight. And the part is for you to do exactly what I did in this spreadsheet. So take the housingplay.csv file that I put on Moodle for you, modify it, make sure you're changing it to something with your name on it. You can call it what you like, but I'd like to have your name on the file name somewhere. And replicate what I just did. That's part 1. Part 2, and I think I'll write these down for you. So where's my pen? Come back over here. So part 1, replicate what I just did. My dumb model in your Excel sheet, and calculate the RMSE, just like we just did. We literally just did that. Okay, part 2 is on that same spreadsheet. Or if you need to make another spreadsheet, that's fine too. Think of a different, maybe slightly less dumb model and implement it in Excel. Okay, if you're going to do it in the same Excel spreadsheet, awesome. That's very easy for me to read, but certainly you're welcome to do 2 separate, but I need you to turn in both, and there will be place in Moodle for both of these, okay? All right, that's all for now. I think I'll put out something else on Monday, but you can get started on this. All right, see you guys later.